Ange Postecoglou to Tottenham is a done deal next week. Final talks, final details should be complete as Spurs decide on a new manager as they begin the rebuild process after a disastrous first season. And Harry Kane has made a big decision in where he goes next, what he wants to do this summer. Spurs fans, make sure you're tuning in. Man United fans, listen as well. Hit the like and the share button. Let's go. Ange Postecoglou, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right. An interesting choice. Stylistically, very well thought after. Plays nice, expansive, attacking football, which Spurs fans do demand. There is no doubt about it. They demand it. After being rejected by the likes of Poch, Julian Nagelsmann, Luis Enrique, as an example, the Spurs press say some weren't approached. Other media outlets say they were. So let's be balanced on this and just say after their failure to sign or their decision not to sign, whichever way round, some of the top managers available in Europe. This is an interesting decision. Postecoglou is a good manager. There's no doubt about it. You look at his Celtic record as an example, 73% win ratio this year. Won the Premier League 2 years running, won the Scottish League Cup 2 years running. Taking back whole dominance off of Rangers after what Steven Gerrard was doing up there. But can he cope with the pressure of the Premier League? Is he a good enough manager? You look at his CV. Look, he's won a lot. He's won a lot as a player and as a manager, predominantly in Australia. Managed, the Australian national team, as an example. Melbourne Victory, Brisbane Roar, the Australian under-20s team. A wealth of experience as a manager. Over 680 games he has managed. But is this the right choice to take Tottenham forward? Can he handle the pressure of being in the Premier League? Can he handle the pressure of managing a club the size of Tottenham? It was only a handful of days ago Spurs fans were telling me the Brendan Rodgers of this world, the Graham Potters of this world, the Thomas Franks of this world didn't have the experience or big enough name to come in and manage their club. Does Ange Postecoglou how does he have it and they don't? That's my big question. I'm seeing a lot of those same Spurs fans that I follow online buzzing about this appointment and not so much about the others. I know he's managed Celtic, which means he's got some European experience. But he's had 2 years in Europe, and that's been in one of the weakest leagues there is in the Scottish leagues. Is that good enough experience? He's got the time. He's done the time, but does he have the overall quality to be the Spurs manager? I'm not going to sit here and lie. I don't know enough about him, but I look at the CV, that would concern me. Even at that level of the game, he's only got a 53% win ratio. That's been heavily propped up, by the way, with what he's done at Celtic, who dominate. And Celtic and Rangers, when they've been at the peak of their powers, they win nearly every single game they play anyway in the Scottish League. So a man only wins 50% of his games in his career. By the way, if you take away his Celtic win percentage, he only wins about 45%. 45% of the games he plays. Never managed a big club, a contemporary big club. Never been in a league as big as the Premier League. Can he cope? That's the question I'm posing to you. Can he cope? Now, one situation he's going to have to manage very quickly if this deal is done and complete next week, as many outlets are claiming it to be, is the situation with Harry Kane. Now, Harry Kane has told Tottenham in no uncertain terms that he will not sign a new deal and he wants to move away from the club. Now, these reports are emerging today across many outlets. It says here the England striker finds himself at a major career crossroads after a difficult season with Spurs. Indeed, the removal of Antonio Conte sparked a dramatic downturn in form. The club let slip their place in the top four, ultimately finishing in a lowly eighth. It goes on to say here that there have been many reports in the UK and Spain in recent days of Harry Kane's links to Real Madrid. But as we've all been made aware, Karim Benzema will remain at the club for a further year. Bayern Munich have also showed interest in the player along with Real Madrid. What our sources have told us is that Harry Kane has informed Tottenham Hotspur that he will not sign a new deal, even if he remains at the club next season. Now, that's significant for me because a lot of people feel that maybe Levy can convince him. I was talking to my dad today, who is everybody knows he's a big Spurs fan. My dad would love Harry Kane to stay. My dad doesn't want to see him go to a rival. My dad wishes Spurs were in a better position. But what he said is so true. If Tottenham do not sell Kane and he leaves for free, it is cutting off your nose to spite your face. It's throwing the baby out with the bathwater. It's whatever proverbial you want to use, whatever analogy you want to use, is bad business. And in fact, Daniel Levy and Enoch and Tottenham at large are generally very, very good when it comes to their financial dealings. Look how well they've grown the revenue. The ideas they have commercially with Tottenham are absolutely brilliant. You can't deny that. So keeping Kane for a year when they're unlikely to make the Champions League, irrespective of who their manager is and if Kane stays, the fact that he's not going to sign a new deal, and therefore there'll be no money coming in from him to replenish the squad, just stinks of bad business. Now, journalists are not going to call this out, especially journalists not close to Tottenham. They'll play it down. They will PR it to death. They'll make it sound like a good idea. But in the cold, hard light of day, I need someone to explain this to me. If he's not signing a new deal, this is the premise we're coming from. If he's not signing a new deal, he's going to leave for free. What is the point of keeping Harry Kane? Yes, you don't strengthen Man United or Chelsea now, but they get stronger in a year when they sign him. Harry Kane is not going to drop off massively in a year. If he was, your club wouldn't be trying to get him to sign a new deal. So that as an argument doesn't sit, because if he signs a new 4-year deal today, Spurs fans celebrate. So him leaving in a year's time and getting a 3-year deal with Man United is just prolonging the inevitable. That makes sense to me. Just pull the Band-Aid off, pull the plaster off, get it done. Now, you can argue I'm being biased because I'm a Man United fan, and of course I want him at my club. So you can argue there's a bias in there. But I've been screaming for Harry Kane to get out of Tottenham for about 5 or 6 years, even when Man United were not in a position to sign a player of his quality because of where we sat at that moment in time. So it's going to be intriguing to see how this goes. I don't think the signing, and now I haven't said it for about 5 minutes, I'm going to get the pronunciation wrong again. I think it is Postecoglou. Is that pronounced? Is that right? I've got Google Translate in my ear. Listen. Postecoglou. There we go. I said it a few times and I haven't said it for 5 minutes. It's hard. I assume that's Greek. It sounds Greek, but there we go. Is he a good enough manager to convince Harry Kane to stay? I don't think so. Is he good enough for Spurs? I'm not too sure. Kane wants to leave. Maybe this is the first point of Kane forcing the issue, but we'll see. Look, I want your feelings. I want your opinions. I want to know what you think and feel right now. Remember to go and follow us on TikTok. As of next week, loads of exclusive content starting over there daily. So make sure you're following us. You got notifications turned on as well on TikTok. Until next time, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And we'll see you all again.